Greetings guys, welcome back to PGA Live 365, and tonight we're going to be having a look at
how to hit it left to right, right to left, high and low. So let's get going. So welcome back guys, tonight we're going to have a little look at shot shaping. So we've got all the shapes for you, left to right, right to left, high and low.
We've got a lot to cover.
We have.
So let's get going.
So hi guys, editing this video down, and it is quite a long one, so if you don't want to watch every single section, I'll put the headings down the side here now so you can skip ahead to the section that you're looking for. Let us know in the comments section if our tips really do help you.
Right, this is all about controlling three things: club path, club face and loft, as well as the always important strike.
Yeah, but it's going to be done by two humans and not a robot.
Definitely not
so
a robot.
Watch out.
Okay, so importantly, to create curvature, you need a disparity between club path and club face. So if your club path goes left and your club face is pointing right of that club path, you're going to get a left to right curvature. And if your club path is pointing right, your face needs to be left of that point in order to make the ball curve from right to left. In order to hit the ball high, you're going to need to present more dynamic loft. In order to hit the ball lower, you're going to need to present less dynamic loft. I think I got that correct. That sound all right?
That covers all bases there.
So this is what we're going to do.
So we're going to expo demo each shot. So explain it and demonstrate it and work through any of the setup bits that we would go through, or any variations in those setups that you could use. So definitely in the low shot we would set up differently, and then a lot of points that you're going to need to go through. And there's a lot of things that actually I was told growing up on how to shape shots that just aren't true.
No, there's a lot of myths here. There's a lot of personal things. And again, one of the most fun bits about golf is getting out there and actually experimenting with all this stuff.
Definitely.
Can you do it? So can we do it?
Probably.
There's only one way to find out. Okay, so Adam is here. He's going to demonstrate a little fade for us, please, sir.
Yes.
So how are you going to go about it?
So if we put another ball in here so you can see our aim point. So I was told growing up, aim club face at target, body left of target, swing along line of feet.
Yes, which worked for many, many players, and as a thought can still work. However, we now know, with like the little orange box on the floor there helps us, that club face has to point left of target in order for the ball to start left of target, and then because we know a fade starts left of target and finishes on target, the club has to be pointing some form of left.
Yes. So obviously if I was out on the course, I'd be having my target in mind. I would then pick something to the left of that I wanted to aim my club face at.
So would you be looking at this 0.7 here roughly?
Yeah,
that far?
That'd be fine.
And then you'd be swinging more towards the 2.9?
So yeah, I try and get my body to feel like it's a long way to the left.
Yes.
So my body's going to aim in maybe at club speed over here.
Yeah, which is 83 if you can see that.
So we're going to go there. Now when you set up to hit these shots, everybody that looks at you is going to be like, you're aiming far too far left. But your path has to be travelling left of your face.
And your face has to be pointing left as well.
So everything has to be quite a long way this way. If I do get too straight, it's going to start too straight and miss my target to the right hand side, which you've obviously chosen to hit this shot for a reason. So you're either trying to avoid something that's near you, or there's something up there
that you don't want
to be near.
Exactly.
Right.
So let's see it then.
Let's see if I can hit one then. So face left, body left.
Cool. So questions initially as we watch this one fly beautifully. Don't land on the line. Oh, look at that. It doesn't get any better than that. So are you still feeling like you're swinging along the line of your feet? That part of your previous statement remains?
Yes, I swing down my setup, definitely, yeah.
Like you would do for any shot, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's jump across to the monitor and have a little look. We've got a leftward club path, we've got a leftward face angle. That creates a ball starting left of target and a swing going left. However, we've got a 4.3 face, so That's a little bit of right in there, so that 4.3 degrees means to the right of that path, and that's what creates that curvature. If this number is too small, that'll start left and stay left. If that number gets too big, it will curve too far away from target. If we were being really picky, because it was a good strike, wasn't it? That's a little bit too high, and it has finished a little right of target.
Yep.
But we wanted to make sure it curved. It's curved 27 feet, and you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, so
That's
a shot.
That's a fade.
Yeah, that's a shot I would feel very comfortable to hit. But like we were saying earlier, to hit that perfectly takes a lot of repetition.
Definitely.
But what we would always say to do is to, if you can't hit this shot, or if it's a shot that you don't hit that often, make this curve as big as possible to start with, and then start to dial it back.
Yes.
Because you're better off trying to overdo it and know how that feels to swing that far left, but obviously not to leave the face wide open at that stage.
Definitely.
So to do those things and take it to the extremes, and then dial it back in to being a bit more playable.
Yeah, and we're going to give you a drill at the end of this video to really give you a chance to practice that. Right, I've got a club in my hand, so I need to hit a draw.
Okay, so setup wise, how are you changing anything in particular from what you were told?
Well, again, growing up was the same sort of thing, wasn't it? So it's club face pointed at target, body closed to target. You know, there weren't the terms left and right weren't used. It was closed and open, and it was like, by the way, you have to know what that means. Yeah. And it's so subjective. It doesn't give you any kind of parameters to it. Now, obviously, being left-handed, I'm looking to create the same shape as Adam just created, which hopefully should give us the minuses and positives the same as we just saw. For me, obviously limited left-handed play, but if I want to shape the ball left to right, I'm definitely aiming my body left of target. Again, my club face not quite so far right as maybe I would have done growing up. My biggest thing, again, like you mentioned before, we've got to get this ball curving, because there's a reason I'm aiming so far left. There's either a tree in front of me or something that I need to go around, or there's something on the left-hand side I really don't want to go in. I don't mind generally when I play this shot, which is an extreme shot, missing this to the right of target, because you've got to get that curvature in there, haven't you?
And again, for you, obviously in the development of your left-handed stuff, this is about starting it far enough this side, and making it shape.
Exactly.
You've got a slightly different dynamic. If I'm hitting that shot, maybe I'm probably trying to hit it to a certain section of a green, or trying to get to a pin, whereas at this stage you're just trying to avoid an object. Whereas if you were playing it right-handed, you'd be doing exactly what I'm doing.
Exactly. So for me, the technical idea is I want to make sure, once I've got my setup, that I get that club head moving. Okay, I want to try my best to get that club head past, I come around the camera so you can see, that club head past my hands as I hit the ball, so that I'm getting that club face pointing right as I hit the ball. Okay?
And do you find this shot easier than the other? I definitely do.
Fits and starts, you find hooking easier, do you?
No, hooking's harder for me. I would actively try and avoid it at all costs.
I think at the moment a fade seems slightly easier, a right to left shape shot. But I have had some success at this, and hopefully this shot I'm about to hit will be another example.
I have no doubt.
Okay, so setup pretty much the same. I'm definitely trying to edge my ball position back as a general rule at the moment, because I have found that I get that club face. I get that ball position quite a long way forwards, but really it's that feeling of quite a static body and just letting that club face go.
Also, that's an interesting point. So if you think about Simon's arc of swing, the further back it goes, the more likely he is to present a path that comes out to this left-hand side more than if the ball was to edge forwards.
Exactly.
Hit it later in the arc, it's going to...
More likely.
It's going to encourage that more of a straighter...
And also, by moving it back in my stance, I have to get that club head moving. So move it back in my stance and don't get that club head moving, then I'm just going to hit it straight out to left field. Right, that's enough jibber jabbing. Okay, so not the best strike in the world, but we've got some curvature.
But it has turned. Oh, you lined it as well, look.
No, ain't it good?
So, and very similar numbers.
Yeah.
We're seeing a path that's in a negative, a faced a path that's in a positive. So exactly the same as you saw from my fade shot. So all of these things, obviously the strike was
a bit thin.
Yeah, a little bit thin.
Was.
But you've done, if this is something in here, you've done exactly what you've set out to do.
Yeah, I've started it left of target.
Yeah, you've done that more through setup and an idea of what you're trying to do. So that's what we're trying to do here. It's not, you're not going to get it perfect. And sometimes with this shot, it doesn't need to be perfect.
No, that's
it's about
definitely
getting you back into a position where you can play the hole from.
Yes.
And restart and regroup from, rather than trying to play an absolute perler.
Yeah, especially for me with my handicap. If I've got a tree on my right hand side or I've got trouble on the left that I know I want to avoid, that shot has done it
it's
for
gone
me.
through a nice amount of curve as well. You've started it obviously 4 degrees left of your target. It's curved 51 feet through the air to the right hand side. It's a good draw. Good.
So we've got left to right and right to left sorted, or draws and fades. They were the same direction because one of us left hand. Let's go high and low.
Yeah.
What do you fancy?
I'll go low.
You're going low?
Lower to the ground, aren't I?
Right. Low CG. Let's see it. Okay, so Adam's going to hit a standard 6-iron first of all, and I'll show you why in a second. Happy?
Yeah.
Good, good. Okay, so let's come over and have a look at dynamic loft. So dynamic loft presented at impact 22.7 degrees of loft. So we now need to see if you want to hit the ball lower than that, a lower number.
Yeah.
So how are you going to do that?
So I can do it through setup. I would often do it through speed as well as that.
Yes. Okay.
So often if I need to hit it low, say like wind straight into my face, I'm looking to flight it down, I'll often go 1 club up. Obviously that gives me the advantage that I've already got less loft to start with.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm still trying to take away dynamic loft, sorry.
And again, the whole point of taking away speed is that it takes away spin, and therefore it's not going to flight up as much. Okay.
So there is a couple of variations. A lot of people will have ball back in stance.
Is that something you do?
No. Actually have it slightly forwards, bizarrely.
Okay. Does that mean, do you find that by having it slightly forwards you can then emphasise it more without going too far the other way and popping it?
Yeah, I often feel when the ball's back I hit down far too much and it tends to spin and get inclined pretty early. Yeah. And I tend to, if I'm going underneath something, it tends to clip it on the way out. So with the ball being slightly further forwards, I tend to narrow my stance down a little. And then I feel like I can be really shallow coming in here and hold that loft how I need to, rather than feeling like I'm just striking down.
Yeah, good.
So this would be my way of doing it.
Okay, so much lower looking flight on the screen. We can see dynamic loft here has dropped to 19, so you've taken 3 degrees off that.
Yep.
Carry wise, I think that's pretty similar. Sorry, total wise, I think that was pretty similar. So it's just different ways to get the ball to its destination.
Yeah.
And depending on the elements that you're facing, that's then those decisions you make on the course.
Yeah, and again, if I needed to hit it, like if we were going definitely down and under a branch, the ball could go back.
Yeah. And
again, you could then just hit down on that. I just wouldn't be hitting this very hard at all.
But at that point, you'd often go down in loft as well. So you put less loft in your hand. Okay, so much, much lower, and we can see 15.2 degrees on the dynamic loft.
But you've got to know how to manage that in terms of how far you want the ball to land and roll out.
So just very quickly, before we move on to the high shot, which will be the same kind of ideas, how can you play with dynamic loft? If you haven't got TrackMan down with you, how can you learn about that?
Obstacles. So we've seen it. Every tour player has got these alignment sticks in their back.
Yeah.
Get a couple of those, dig them in the ground just here.
Make yourself a rugby goal.
Yeah, and put some sellotape or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And just play around with it being right down here.
Yeah.
So you've got to knock it straight underneath.
Yeah.
Or like you're going to do in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go here, but it's got to go over that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're probably going to need your iPhone behind you and record that to make sure it has gone high or low, unless you do clip the tape.
The other thing that I often get people to do with masking tape is just go to the driving net that you have at the golf club.
Yeah, mark.
Line of masking tape here, line of masking tape here, line of masking tape up here. Can you run the ladder? Can you go up and down the ladder? The nice thing with driving nets, most of them are quite heavy archery netting, and if you hit a ball into it,
like this,
it's going to leave a mark.
These are nice.
So if Adam just quickly hits one into the mat into the net for us, and we have a look at the mark that it leaves. Yeah, you can see that's left a very distinct mark. So if you had some tape here, we'd know that we went underneath it. And again, it's all about that feedback, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see if I can hit a high one.
Okay, this eye, you better hit us a normal one, so we've got a nice baseline to work from in terms of dynamic loft.
No problems.
Nice strike.
Okay, that's pretty good, I think. Look at that
Look at
line
that.
ball.
So 25.1. What a
25.1
nice shot though.
down.
Look at all these zeros, look.
Boing, boing,
Yes,
boing.
please.
Boing.
So, if you're going to hit this higher,
Yeah.
what would be your first port of call for hitting this ball higher?
Okay, so obviously we need to set ourselves up in a position that we're going to present more dynamic loft, so higher than that 25 degrees. For me, I will move the ball position slightly further forwards, again, as a way to get that club head passing my hands to give it as much option to get higher as possible.
Yeah.
I'm also going to potentially see a fade slice shape, so using shot shape to help me create height. So that for me is going to mean aiming further to the right with my body and just allowing, as I would point that club face more left to kind of neutralize that balance out, that's going to create more loft to present. I think it's quite important that you use shot shape, so just like you did with the low one, potentially using that right to left shape, which obviously would be hook spin for you to keep that ball low and chasing over things. And the most important thing in this shot, if there is an obstacle in the way, we've got to get over it.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially for me as a high handicapper, I need as much option, as much help to do that. Right.
So in terms of ball position, so if you were going to set up ready to go, so we're talking what? Fairway wood?
Fairway wood to driver, yeah, potentially it's certainly getting that ball position up in here and making sure that my body is staying here, so staying behind the ball, not driving forward to deal off that club.
And again, it's important there that Simon pushes it forwards, but just like with me hitting the low one, that might not be what you have to do. So again, it's just seeing what works for you, because different people launch it very, very differently. It'll also to do with what loft is on your clubs as well. So that's always going to be an influence in how you're going to launch that.
If I had a tree in my way, which is essentially what this is, I might think about changing club and adding more speed.
Yes.
Because speed is going to equal height, it's going to get the ball up quicker. It would then be that decision of risk. What's the risk going to be?
And then the risk and the outcome. So it's that whole thing. It's like playing poker. Like it's at what point do you gamble on what you're going to do? So if it's just to get yourself back into play, then I would always go with something that is very, very comfortably going to get over.
Exactly. Right.
Okay then, so we better see you hit one then. So ball forwards.
Yep.
Face is pointing a little bit further left for you, so body counteracting that by going a little right. And we've got this.
Yeah, bottomed out again, I feel, on that one.
So 28.1.
Okay, so more. So 3 degrees more.
Yeah. So you can see really, really nice and high. Obviously, anything that you needed to go over at that stage, you would have done.
Yes.
So that's absolutely fine.
We got our curvature to the left. We didn't quite come back to target enough, but I think for the purposes of this, that would have got over the trouble.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We've got left to rights, rights to lefts, highs and lows in there, and some dodgy shots from us.
Yeah. I think we did pretty well. Certainly got a nice line ball in there. Guys, it's all about learning these things. So as you were saying earlier, Mark, exactly what you're presenting is going to make a massive difference on the curvature, the height, the distance these balls go. So we've got the two drills. We've got the ladder drill that Adam showed us there earlier on, and we've also got the onion drill. Now we'll quickly explain this. We've got ourselves where we're hitting the ball, and we've got a target, and we're going to try and create different shapes that end up on target. So little right to left, big right to left, even bigger right to left. Have you got a left to right? Have you got bigger left to right? Can you layer these shots?
And then obviously this onion is round, so we can now keep going little bit higher, and lower as well. So can you hit that really low one, like literally straight along the turf?
Yeah.
Can you hit that?
You need it. You're going to need it.
It's all about putting these tools into that toolbox and taking them to the golf course that will make you a better golfer.
Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Loads of content there for you. If you did enjoy it, do the YouTube stuff, like, bell icon, subscribe. You know the drill. And we'll see you down here on the channel next time.
See you later.